Hi, everyone, and welcome to this month's Tips and Tricks webinar. Our topic for this month is going to be the cost page. So we're going to be going over the cost page in details, but we're also going to go over how you can request quotes from any of our partnered wholesalers within the system as well. So I'm going to give it just a couple of minutes to see if anybody else shows up here today and see who else wants to join. We had a couple people register for our class. So we're just going to kind of wait and see if anybody shows up today. For anyone who is not familiar with myself, my name is Brandy, and I am the support director here at Details Flower Software. If this is your very first tips and tricks class, just to note that we do these every month and they are included in your subscription price. So you can join these every month free of charge, and we go over a specific area of details each month. It could be a specific feature. It also could just be a specific area in detail. So if you have not joined these before, welcome, and we are happy to have you here. And we hope that you will join us for each month after this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen and we can get started. I do ask that if you have any questions that you go ahead and put them right there in the chat, and we will be sure to go over that either as we're going through, or we also may save those until the end, just kind of depending on how everything goes. All right, so let me just go ahead and get my chat box here so I can make sure to keep an eye on those as well. All right. So we're just going to start off here. I'm on the cost page of an event already. For anyone who is not familiar with the process of going into the cost page here, on the event list, so let's just go ahead and go back over into the event list. So the event list is going to be the page that you see every time you come into your account, and it's going to house all of your different events. So you'll have all your current events, but you'll also be able to access any events that maybe the dates have already passed, but also that you marked as did not book or archived. So for today, we're going to go ahead and go into our first tips and tricks event. So the first one is going to be this one here. So to get onto the cost page directly, I'm going to actually right click on one of the columns, and then I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm going to navigate over to the cost page here. If you're already inside of an event, you'll also see the cost page as an option going across the top of your screen here. So you'll have all of your normal navigation, your details, worksheet, resources, etc. And then the very last option that you're going to see here is going to be costs. So this page you can think of more so as your order sheet or your pull sheet. It's going to house all of the items that you're utilizing in your recipes on your worksheet. And it's going to list them out here based on your item type. So you'll have all of your blooms and greenery are going to be at the top section here. And then in the bottom section, you're going to see all of your rentals, vases, your hard goods, miscellaneous items. If you have any linens or chairs or chargers, things like that, those are all going to live down at the bottom under the rental section. So starting at the top here, in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see your event grand total, your projected expenses, meaning what you're going to be paying for the product themselves. This is going to be your actual cost, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. And then under over is going to be how much you were under or over by. And then you also have your need by date, and that's going to be when you order your product, what date you need that product to be in by. It looks like we have a comment here from Andrea. It says, I'm fairly new to this, but I do make recipes. I have never had my blooms and greenery show up on the cost page. Andrea, I'm happy to go through that with you. I'm going to have Crystal, who's also on the call here, take down your name, and I will follow up in an email with you in regards to specifically your account. All right, so moving down here, we're going to come back to the wholesale quotes area in just a moment. But to start off here, we have our blooms and greenery area. It's going to list out individually all of the ingredients that you're utilizing in your recipes that fall under the blooms and greenery category. You're also going to have a column here of the quantity of each you need, and this is going to be the quantity of stems. So I need, 40 stems, 18 stems, 18 stems, etc. You're then also going to have a section that estimates the stem cost. So this is going to be $2 per stem, 85 cents per stem, so on and so forth. And then you have your estimated total column, and this is going to list out your total for that specific item. So all of my 18 callas altogether at $2 per stem, I'm estimating will be a total of $36. You then have sections like your quantity ordered and your stem cost that you're going to fill in after you've already either accepted a quote here in details, which we'll go over in just a moment, or if you've ordered your product out of an entity outside of details. Then you're also going to see your total costs here. And then the last column that you have here is a supplier column. So you can notate the supplier in which you received these items from. You can do that by clicking on the plus symbol here to the right-hand side. You'll select Add Supplier, and you can type in your supplier. If you're utilizing our RFQ system here at the top, the supplier that you select or the supplier that you have requested your quote from will automatically fill into that section. Also in this area, you have an option to add a substitution. So if, for example, they don't have the calla lily in the wine, maybe I want to substitute that for something that's similar, I can add a substitution, and then I can go ahead and under select substitution, I would just start typing in the item. So for example, if I start typing in calla, it's going to tell me all of the different calla lily options that I have currently in my item gallery. It's important to note that when you're selecting a substitution, the substitution that you're selecting must live in your item gallery. If it does not already live in your item gallery, you can always go back and add it. But in order for you to be able to add that as a substitution, it does have to live in your item gallery. All right, so now that we've gone over each of the columns here in the blooms and greenery section, we're going to next go down to our rental section and list out all of the information that's there as well. So as with the blooms and greenery section, it is going to show all of your different items here along with your item names. You're going to have a need and have by column. So this is going to be what you need for the event. So I need a total of 18. And then it's also going to say what you already have in your inventory. If you're not familiar with the inventory tracking in details, I'll go ahead and click into an item here. So let's just say, for example, this pin. If I go over to the details section here, if I have an item that is, let's say, a basin rental, I can put a total inventory here on that product. So let's just say, for example, I have 20 in my inventory. I can go ahead and put 20 here. If I do that, then when I come here, it's going to say that I need 18, but I have 20 already in my inventory, meaning that I don't need to order any because I already have the amount that I need. You'll see that kind of displayed here in this estate 6-inch vase. So it says that I need 30, and I already have 19 in my inventory. So in total, I need to order 11 in order to fulfill the needs of this particular event. I also have my estimated total of what I should be spending across that item. And then just like up at the top, I have a quantity ordered and the item cost, so that when I go ahead and order those items, I can come back and fill in what I actually ordered and the price that I actually paid for those. Additionally, it's going to tally up your total cost based on what you actually spent and the quantity that you actually ordered. And then underneath each section, you're going to have your total estimate of what you should be spending, along with your actual total, meaning what you actually paid for it after you entered in all of the information, and then how much you're under or over by. So let's go ahead and submit a request for quote to see what we can get as far as a quote on these items. So up at the top in the wholesale quotes area, we're going to see all of our partnered wholesalers listed. Starting in the top left-hand corner, we have Stalzinen. They service Canada. And so if you're in Canada, you can go ahead and order product from Stalzinen. This is going to be my test company here, so we can ignore that one. Alaska Peony Cooperative provides beautiful, gorgeous peonies during peony season. So you can order those directly here. They do have a collection of items in our item gallery if you want to check out what's available. House of Stems, same thing. They also have a collection in our item gallery. So if you're curious about their items, they do sell hand-painted anthuriums that they call irithuriums, and they're iridescently painted. Definitely worth checking out. And they do, like I said, have a collection in our item gallery. What I would recommend that the majority of people use is going to be JetFresh. They have everything under the sun that you could ever want for your events as far as like blooms and greenery go. They do ship all across the US, and they are some fantastic people. I highly recommend that if you're not following them on their social accounts on Instagram, Facebook, etc., that you go ahead and check them out. They've got amazing content. As far as you all are concerned, though, you can click into their button from any cost page within details and request a quote from them. You can also accept that quote, and we'll see that process in just a moment, and do the entire ordering process basically through details here. You will want to make sure that you have an account set up with JetFresh. When you go ahead and you put in your first request for quote with them here through details, they'll follow up with a form to get some more information about your company, and then also about your credit card details. And that way, the next time that you request a quote and accept it through details, they can just automatically run that payment there. So when you first come to this page, you're going to have a box that pops up that is going to list out all of the items that you're able to order through JetFresh. For each one of these items, you're going to click on the checkbox to the right for each one that you want to include in your request for quote. You can do this if you're just selecting a couple of items, but if you want to go ahead and request a quote for all of your items, you're going to click that check all button here at the bottom, and that's going to automatically check all of those boxes here. From that point, you're going to click on the Add Items option, and that's going to, at the bottom, fill in all of those items. For example, over here on the right-hand side, we do have a quantity field, and you're probably not going to be able to order just 29 stems of orchids. So maybe they come in a bunch of 10. So I'm going to go ahead and update that to 30. And you can do this for any one of your items here. This is also great if you wanted to, add a little bit extra so that you have a nice cushion, etc. And you can do that right from this page. To the right of that, you're also going to see an ask price per stem. So this is going to pull in the ask price that you had originally on your worksheet. So if you want to make any changes to those, maybe I want to see if I can get this for $250 instead of $275. I can go in and make any changes to the costs that I want to here. You can also, from this page, print this table. So if you want to have that for your records, you can do that. And then once you're done and you filled in all of the information about your items, you're going to go ahead and click that Save and Send button at the bottom. This is going to automatically send that request over to the JetFresh team. You're going to be conversing with Dolly. Her information is going to be up here in the upper right-hand corner. You can also click on the About JetFresh Flowers to learn a little bit more about them. And there's also some additional email addresses here as well. Right below that is going to be our quote activity log. So this is going to keep a running log of each time either you or Dolly or whoever it is that you're conversing with wholesaler-wise makes a change. And so you're going to see all of that activity here. And then to the left of that, you're going to see our messages area. And this is where you can go in and have a conversation with your wholesaler. Maybe you want to specify that you're looking for a variety with larger blooms, or whatever it might be. You can go ahead and put that message right here in details, and JetFresh or any of the other wholesalers that you are conversing with will be able to message back and forth with you directly through the platform. At the top, you're going to see also your shipping info. It's going to automatically pull in the information that you had in your company info. But if you have any changes that you want to make, maybe you don't want to ship it directly to your store, maybe you have a warehouse, whatever that case may be, you're always able to go in and change out that shipping info right here on this area. Once you have completed that, you're actually going to go back to your cost page here. And that's going to list out your quote in the quotes area. So once that area loads here, there's going to be an area where you are able to see all of the different quotes. So if, for example, you had put out a couple of different quotes just to see, which ones you got back, you will see them all listed out here in this quotes area. You can also go back to the original request a quote field by clicking on this request a quote button here in the upper right-hand corner. And that's going to just change back to those wholesaler quote tiles. If you want to view your quotes, you'll just opposite that, click that view quotes, and that will change back to your quote list. On this page, once you have submitted it, it's going to list out your total stems, your ask total, and then it's going to give you your status. So whether that's started or once somebody sends you back a quote, it'll have a different status. And then you will also be able to see your quote total at that time. So let's go ahead and see what that will look like. So this is one that I've already done, and it's going to look exactly like this. So it will have a little quotation, or excuse me, exclamation point here so that you know that it's something that you need to look at and respond back to. It's also going to have your ask total, your quote, and then your quote total here as well as your total stems. Oh, and if they put a quote expiration date here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click inside of that. So here's kind of that quote activity log on both ends. This time it was me, but it'll have the name of whoever the person is on the wholesale side here as well. And then going down, it's going to have all of my different items that I have included in this quote. It's going to show my quantity, my ask price per stem, and then it's also going to show you the quote price per stem. You'll be able to see any of the differences here between what you asked for and what the quoted price was, so you can basically do a comparison here. You'll also notice that they can add different statuses. On this one, I just put discounted, so you can see any of the ones that came in with a discount applied. They've also got this red exclamation point here, so you can see them really well and they pop out. On the right-hand side is where you're going to choose to accept or decline each one of these items. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and accept. I'll accept this one. These two I got a discount on, so I'll go ahead and click the checkbox for those as well. Any that I don't want to accept, I can also click on the X to remove them out of my quote. You can also choose if you want to just accept everything, you can click the accept all button down here at the bottom. And then once you're done, you're going to go ahead and click that accept quote button. And we'll go ahead and let this load here. But once you have accepted your quote, it's actually going to go ahead and fill in some of this information for you. So for example, right here, this Expedia, I went ahead and I accepted it. So it's going to go ahead and fill in the quantity ordered as well as the stem cost and then my total cost here. And it's going to do that for each one of the items that I went in and accepted. Next, down here at the bottom, it's going to show me my estimated total and then my actual total and how much I was under or over by. In this case, there are some of the items that I didn't accept the quote for. And so in that case, I might want to go in and adjust those and notate that I had gotten them from a different wholesaler. So for example, go in here and notate that I got these from yes, perfect. And then I can go ahead and add that into my total down here at the bottom as far as my estimated total versus actual total. And that's also going to, again, adjust that under or over by here as well. Now, while we obviously hope that you will order from one of our partnered wholesalers, they are great people. We highly recommend, if you haven't tried any of them out, that you go ahead and do so. But if you ever want to order from a wholesaler that's local to you, or just a different one that's not listed here in details, you can download this as a CSV, or you can also print this table off. And that way you can either send it off, or of course you can print it off and bring it into a wholesaler if it's someone local. On the same subject of not having the wholesaler that you might regularly buy for, you can also go into the set wholesalers option here and request a wholesaler. So if there's anybody that you wish was in details that you don't already see in there, you can go ahead and fill in all of the information on this form and send that request over to us as well. That'll just let us know that there's a wholesaler that you're specifically looking for that's not listed out here. You can also come in here and show which wholesalers are displaying. So for example, myself, we're in the US, and so I'm not going to be able to order from Saldenen. So I might choose to go ahead and toggle that person to no, and then go ahead and save that there. All right. So that concludes our kind of overview of the cost page here. I would love to open the floor for any questions that anybody might have about this area pertaining to the cost page, or also just requesting quotes from wholesalers on this page as well. And you can go ahead and put that into the chat, or you can also turn off your mics if you have a question and you want to go ahead and ask it here as well. So while we're waiting to see if anybody has any questions, I do also want to mention that if you haven't seen our most recent masterclass, we did just recently do a masterclass with JetFresh. So if you are not familiar with their brand or their company or what they offer, I highly recommend checking out that masterclass. And if you become a customer with JetFresh, they're also going to be hosting a brand new event that's going to be happening in August. It's going to be called Fresh Fest, and you can get all of the information about that upcoming event from them as well. All right, well, it looks like we don't have any questions here. So it looks like we're going to go ahead and wrap up a little early. We're going to send out the full recap video along with some helpful articles about any of the information that we covered today. And then, of course, if you have any questions as you're getting familiar with this section, you can always reach out to us at support@detailsflowers.com, or you can give us a call as well, and we'd be happy to assist you there. I thank everyone for taking some time out of your Wednesday, and hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.